My name is Mittelman. Our company is Eyes Optics, and we've been in this business now about 20 years, and it didn't really start out that way. The company started out as a NASA spin-off company out of Jet Propulsion Laboratories in Pasadena. And the scientists that started the company had some wonderful technology, and they just weren't sure how to market it. So one of the scientists who was working with our companies, who was one of the co-developers, he said, "Would you be interested in getting involved?" Well, 20 years later, here we are, and a lot of rocky roads, a lot of different things have happened over the years, but it's really been a challenge, and a challenge I'm glad that we took. It's been my life. Our vision originally was protecting as many people, their vision around the world. I think we've done a fair job, pretty good job, and it's to do a lot more. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, something like my dad. My dad was in many businesses. I've just focused my attention on one specific business. I was in the automotive business for almost 20 plus years. Manufactured high-performance accessories and speed equipment for Porsche, BMW, OEM, and aftermarket. And some years ago, I sold off that enterprise to two partners I'd acquired. And then just a couple years later, the friends of mine at Jet Propulsion Laboratories happened to give me a call and told me about this business that they had developed, but they ran out of funds. They used every dollar they could, and they needed somebody to get involved. And I was recently unemployed. I sold my businesses, and I got involved and thought it was going to be a lark, and here I am 20 years later still involved with the business. The company had no real marketing. There was no specific gravity for the company. It just was catching a customer here and putting an ad in a magazine. And when we saw that DRTV was an opportunity, and I hadn't been in DRTV, I got together with some well-known people in the industry, large production group, and they created a commercial. When they started airing it, they said, "How would you like to be involved?" I said, "What's that going to take?" And then, "Well, we're going to get you a fulfillment center, and we're going to get you a telemarketing center." Before I know it, I was fully engaged in DRTV. And from that, I cut my teeth and spent a lot of years working with our own products, working with other companies to help them develop their products. And it's been a fun road. I don't think I would have wanted to be anywhere else than where we've been in the last 20 years. We think that the best of our industry is just now emerging. I think the true convergence of all mediums, whether it be print, radio, television, electronic, web, and all of what it stands for, mobile, they're all coming together really as truly one effort. And we used to talk about that, well, it's a component of, it's all integrated. There's going to be a fine line that is going to be so blurred very shortly that this is the really thrilling time to be involved with our industry. The way I regard entrepreneurship is that anytime I have an idea, I have to believe that 100,000 people have that same idea, but very few people are going to act on it. They'll talk about it, they'll tell their friends, they'll ponder it at night before they go to sleep, but a commitment is the difference between entrepreneurship and a dream. And when you really, really live your dream is when you're doing something about it. And I've been told many times, that is usually my impetus to do something, is you can't do that. That won't work. That's been tried before. That's a silly idea. All of those things that people tell me just seem to get my inspiration moving that much more. I have to prove to myself that I can do these things. And I think that's truly what every entrepreneur will relate to, is that they take information from everyone else, they'll take the good, the bad, but they're not defeated. So many people are so quickly defeated by a few negative words, and it's a shame, because wonderful, wonderful ideas and opportunities never see the day. They never see the day of light because someone else influenced their decision to move forward. And that's something that I'll take responsibility for. I have over the years. I have to be very conscious. There are many things that I've wanted to do or could have done, and I look at they came to fruition through somebody else. And instead of being defeated again, I always say, aha, I was right. And my wife would say, she'd rather say, I'm glad, I wish it was yours rather than you being right that somebody else did it. But it just reinforces that my ideas are not bad. I think we all come up with wonderful ideas. One of those ideas can and will be the winner if we proceed and we continue to make it happen. One of the things that inspires me now more than ever is that over the last 20 years, I've developed a great network of people that I can trust and be involved with, and they are helping me to meet other people within our industry. And I base those relationships with what they have done over the past years, what they perform for other people. And so I'm inspired to do new things because I feel I have a support team. Even if they're not involved directly with our company, there are wonderful people within this industry and all the support services that make things happen every day for every one of us. And I'm inspired to move forward with new projects and new ideas and new efforts every day. Some of them won't happen, a few of them will, but we're moving ahead. Well, after acquiring the business that we're currently in and watching my assets rapidly deplete, I realized that this was not going to be something that I could do short term. And as litigation started mounting, as all the problems with entrepreneurship continued, I was living off of credit cards, and my family was looking to me for support for some years. And it wasn't till some years later when things started smoothing out. And I'd say to any entrepreneur, be prepared for tough times. Live lean. Do not live large. Even if you've been given what seems like a great amount of opportunity in cash or cash equivalent, it can be drained in a very short period of time. Have to think through your plan and then work your plan. You cannot go off on a tangent. I found that many times I would get distracted and I was spending monies where I really didn't have an understanding, but I was on faith of someone else. Check out with professionals. There are loads of people in this industry that can help you define whether or not that's a good or reasonable investment to make in either advertising or in some form of marketing. Those are the first things I would suggest before you take your product out to market, that you get involved with people that are potentially either your business partner or someone that will give you sage advice. And there's plenty of people, wonderful people in our industry that are more than willing to offer up their advice. Creating relationships in our industry is one of the best things you can do. Don't be afraid to walk right up to somebody that looks like a company that's been around a while. Find out about them. Meet someone in the industry. That's the way that the business seems to expand for us. We're constantly letting ourselves go out there. Never be intimidated by a big company. They're just people. Just like we started out not knowing anybody in the industry, now we know a lot of people. It wouldn't happen unless we put ourselves out. For example, we have a print partner. We approached this company some years ago. We became partners in effect, and they've already run over 250 million pages of print for us. Matter of fact, in the next 6 months in SkyMall, this particular ad is going to be running in every airline across the United States. That would not have happened had we not continued to push forward to try and make a relationship work. They didn't know our product to start with. They know us now, we know them. But that's what happens when you start going out there as an entrepreneur. If you know your product and you love your product, let people know. That's very important. It's been great to be here at Response Expo. Been involved with the industry for some years. This is our first show here with Response. It was not only interesting, it was engaging with all the people that we met. We made some new good contacts for all the years we've been here, people that we didn't know. Hope to be here next year. My name is Mittelman. Look forward to meeting you soon.